Hey folks, today is July 9th, 5:03 p.m. My name is James. Let's take a look and see what we had today, and then we'll go through the list. Okay, so the S&P 500, we're still consolidating basically. It's nice to see that, to see an update on the chart like this, and just have it continue the consolidation. I really think, based on the way things are going, volume is going to stay low the rest of the week. And I'm hoping it kicks into gear next week after we start getting some of the earnings. So I think the bank earnings are going to be first. Citigroup's on Monday, I think, and then there's probably some more, and then we're going to start getting into other stocks like tech stocks and things. So hopefully more volume comes in next week once we get the Citigroup earnings, or maybe even leading into those earnings on Friday or Monday. Extremely low volume in this market right now, though, and I'm going to show you some of that. So Nasdaq's holding that area, Russell holding that area, same kind of thing, and then the Dow, same thing. We're way up at those highs or just below these resistance levels, and we're just holding there. And I think that's good. With low volume, I think that's really good. There's no drastic selling coming in. We're not breaking out. There's just no volume right now, and it's just kind of hovering. Everything's kind of hovering. So I think that's good. Hopefully volume shows up next week, though. For me personally, I'm not in anything. I really don't like this low volume activity. It's really hard for me to judge whether something is moving with any conviction because there's just no volume there. So some of these breakouts actually are scary to me because if selling showed up with volume, there would be nothing to hold that stock up. That's what I don't like. If selling showed up, nothing would stop it from going down. As far as individual stocks, I don't think there's really a lot of selling that's going to show up in the market. I actually think it's going to go higher, but I just don't like low volume breakouts. So Carvana, I've adjusted this. There was a line here that I had, but today it actually crossed it. And as it was crossing it, I was watching it. I'm like, there's no way that's going to hold because there's no volume. And so it did, and did actually create a spinning top. And then I readjusted because I think this actually looks better. And I think that level is probably more accurate. So that's right around 68.97 or just over that, 69 even. VEVE I just added. Had it in a secondary list that I keep track of things in for a couple days, and now it's starting to climb up there again. Again, there's just no volume right now, but that's a nice ascending triangle. So over 173.65 on VEVE would be a pretty good entry. Palo Alto I just added yesterday, broke out today. Volume was not that great. It was pretty good earlier in the day, and I was considering buying it, and then just didn't like the look of it. But price kept moving. Volume was only about under 100% or something. So yeah, the entry was down here. Looks pretty good. I would set my stop probably right about break even, maybe $1 below to make sure you give it some room in case it does come back, and then it might dip below the line. But it looks good. Again, I don't like low volume breakouts, but the price is still moving even though the volume's low. So Tandem held below that line, still looks good. And the CSX broke below, but it created a hammer, or a hammer-like spinning top. I'm going to leave that in there for one more day because that's the 100-day moving average right there, and it paused there. It might get pushed right back up in. I'll give it another day or two and see if it goes back into pattern. CYBR was up nicely. Again, there's no volume there, but it's holding that level. We'll have to see if it can climb back up towards the upper line and then possibly go. SAIC, not much for volume, but it did break over the upper line. Match is holding below. I like that. I would rather it not break out on low volume. I'd rather it stay there and then break out on volume. I like the little consolidation going on below the line. That's usually what I like to see. But yeah, we'll give that some more time and see what it does. CHGG went yesterday on really good volume. So when you can see volume come in and you can measure it and see that it's over 150% or over 200% or whatever, even in this environment, that's fantastic. I could show you another one, Square, that actually took off, and the volume just spiked. And there's another one, EPAN, that I think went yesterday that I showed. volume dumped in, and that's what happened with CHG yesterday. Volume dumped in, and that took it higher. That's what you want to see. So that's what I'd be waiting for on any of these moves, even in this environment. I want to see volume dump into that stock. So CHG held up pretty nicely today. Chipotle actually pulled back, but just a spinning top and held its move, so that looks pretty good. Etsy had some volume come in compared to previous days, but it wasn't huge, but it is bouncing off the lower line, which is good. PEGA, again, no volume or very light volume, a little bit more than previous days, but not the kind that I would want to see in a breakout, and it popped over the line. So, you can try these low volume moves. I really don't like them. I don't think they're going to hold. I don't like them. You need volume. You need that institutional support. That's what that is. Holding that price up, moving that price, so you know that there's somebody there at those price levels maintaining that move. Low volume is not good. So Shopify added back in because now we're starting to climb and bounce off this lower line, which is a trend line that's still in effect from back here. And then, of course, if it breaks into a new high, that's a buy. So 338.94. And AVTR, it dipped pretty hard today, but it held the lower line, so that's pretty good. So I'll give that more time and see what it does. And now we're going to go into the ones that have already broken out from previous patterns. So AVLR still looks good, added a bit more today. Coupa, same thing. AZPN, same thing. Z, same thing, and added another $1. Facebook got some talking on CNBC, helped accelerate this move a bit more, so now that's finally bounced up nicely. Momo still within this really big symmetrical triangle, needs a lot more time. Again, I want it to fall all the way down the lower line and bounce off. If it does that, that'd be really nice. SAM backed off quite a bit, but it's a pretty high dollar stock, so it's not really significant. It held the 21-day moving average there. I'd be really careful though. If it could come down and break below the 21-day. If it does that, you might just want to sell it. This is a huge gain. I don't think it will go that far back. I think if it does pull back, it would probably still, make its way higher. But you might want to take your profits right here, or take some off if you have a bigger position. Just be careful. That thing might actually pull back. McDonald's going sideways. That still looks good. Safe added some more. That looks good. OLED finally bounced back over this line. Really nice. And then ANET added another 255, and that looks good too. Wow, a lot of those look really good. So yeah, that's what I got right now. I'm waiting to see some real volume. Let me show you these real quick. Square, just to show you. Big move. If you bring up Square on your own, I know you can't see the volume in the video, but at the bottom you'll see the volume is just spiked way over. Nice move. I saw Square previously, but I had some bad experience with Square before, so I didn't add it back in. But yeah, whatever. If you found it great, it's a nice move. The buy was a break over there. Big volume today. And EPAM, which was on this channel before, but I took it off. I don't actually remember why I took it off. I just took it off. But nice volume yesterday and today. And that's about a $7 move from that level. So yeah, but you can see on the chart on these, Square just had a huge volume jump. EPAM had a nice volume jump. That's what I want to see when I see a move. Don't want to see something like what Palo Alto did. Sure, the price moved, but there's no volume behind it. So yeah, be careful. Get volume when you go into something. See you next time.